It's the physical evidence of the past. Rather than having to rely on memory, which is fallible, or different people's opinions, the archive is the actual evidence. It's the place where those facts reside.
So we try to collect all aspects of Indiana's history and then also materials before we became a state. We're going to collect books, we're going to collect maps, documents, we're going to have family letters, family materials, records from organizations and businesses throughout the state.
As one of the largest repositories for archival materials and state-of-the-art building and space, this is one of the best and safest places for them to be.
Once we acquire the materials, that does take time for someone to go through that and organize and identify any areas that maybe conservation needs to take a look at.
Without the efforts to preserve and treat the collection would eventually deteriorate through use. So having a conservation department and our professionally trained conservators is just very integral to preserving our collection.
So while we physically and legally own the documents, what we're obligating ourselves to do is to take care of these things for the general public, for the citizens of Indiana in perpetuity. And that comes with a great deal of responsibility, because what we're saying is we're taking on the burden, the cost, the work to care for these things.
The library and archive is different from a museum experience because they actually make collections available for research so people can come in and use the materials.
Of course, we get the people on site who we can help directly, but then we have so many great resources available online.
We do go through things and think about what people are looking for now, what we expect them to look for in the future, and what we have that we know they need to see, but they don't know it yet.
The ongoing work of collecting is one of the essential roles that the Indiana Historical Society plays in its community. The Indiana Historical Society is doing some really important stuff to try and make our collections more diverse, more complete, tell a more complete story of what the story and experience of Hoosiers has been over time.
As being an adoptee, I don't know a lot about my biological family's history and the stories, so it has a different level, I think, of meaning for me to know that my story's been captured and that my children can come back and see this, and grandchildren, and that there maybe is now a lineage of information available.
They have spent decades studying this kind of material, and they were able to turn me on to these old, sort of dusty audio interviews that have been done with Crispus Attucks' first principal and first teacher. I don't think any of this stuff had ever been published anywhere. And that became such a critical element to telling the story. I wouldn't have gotten that service, I don't think, anywhere else. And you know, because of that, I practically set up a tent there.
We brought some students down a few years ago for Madam C.J. Walker. And when the librarian comes out and puts a box down in front with a lid on it, and they open it up, it's like Christmas. I mean, they open it up and what's going to be in it, and they look in it and they see images, they see diaries, they see letters. That's a voice from the past speaking to them.
Here I am at my first committee meeting, thrilled to be involved in it, and I look at the promotional materials for the Walker exhibit that we're supposed to get out to our potential sponsors. I open up the pamphlet, and it's my aunt, Cordy King Stewart.
I've definitely been in the reading room in moments when people were crying because they felt a personal connection to the materials that they were reading, or they just shouted for joy and almost had to pardon themselves if there were other patrons present because they couldn't believe the information that they were finding. Anybody who's able to come to our library, we're happy to walk you through the steps of looking at those library catalogs, really instructing you on how to use them and how to use your searches to the best of your ability.
And I challenge people to find any other museum here in the city that will let you actually touch its collection.
No one else is doing it the way the Indiana Historical Society Library does it. If it's not us, it's no one else. And so we have an obligation, not to our time, but to the generations to come who are going to be able to benefit from learning about the past and therefore thinking better about the present and the future.